Hey everyone, today we're unpacking the monumental milestones of 2026 cricket. Honestly, it was a year that absolutely redefined the sport, both between the wickets and across the screens we use to watch it. We're going to examine the incredible highs, the seriously stressful lows, and the massive technological shifts that are changing the game forever. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's the roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Historic title defense. 2. The bumpy road. 3. Standout stars. And 4. A new era of coverage. Let's get right to it. Section 1. Historic title defense. India's unprecedented win. 3. That's the magic number right there, guys. With this victory, India officially became the very first team to win the men's T20 World Cup tournament 3 separate times. They added this gorgeous 2026 trophy directly to the hardware they secured back in 2007 and, of course, their recent win in 2024. But you've really got to look at what this win actually represents in the context of cricket history. This wasn't just another tournament victory. India pulled off a sequence of absolute firsts. They became the first team to ever win 2 consecutive T20 World Cups, successfully defending that 2024 title. And even more impressively, they became the first country to ever win the title on home soil. Just a massive achievement. And they didn't just squeak by, either. 96 runs. That was the record-breaking victory margin India achieved against New Zealand in the final match at the Narendra Modi Stadium. To put that into perspective, in a T20 final, a margin like that isn't just a win. It is a total, complete dismantling of the opposition. No doubt about it. Moving on to Section 2, the bumpy road. A not-so-perfect campaign. Because, as picture-perfect as that victory in the final was, the journey to the trophy was incredibly stressful. Getting to the Super 8s was pretty much expected, but once they got there, wow. India faced a massive reality check. They were absolutely hammered by South Africa in their first Super 8 match. Just like that, the overwhelming tournament favorites were staring down the barrel of a must-win situation for the rest of the campaign. And a lot of this panic was due to some severe struggles at the top and middle of the batting order. Just look at this breakdown. Ironically, the world #1 T20 batter at the time, Abhishek Sharma, started the tournament with a disastrous hat trick of ducks. Literally 0 runs 3 times in a row. Then you had Tilak Varma, who couldn't get his strike rate above 120 early on, which put a ton of pressure on everyone else. And Rinku Singh, the guy designated to be the finisher, he had such a rough patch that he eventually lost his role entirely. The team management basically had no choice but to make some incredibly high-stakes lineup changes on the fly. Which brings us to Section 3, Standout Stars, the heroes of 2026. So who actually saved the day? When we look at the report card grades from the Times of India, it objectively frames who actually delivered when the pressure was highest. You can see the stark contrast here. While Abhishek Sharma was graded a 4 out of 10 for his struggles, Ishan Kishan stepped up brilliantly at number 3, earning a solid 8. But the real saviors of the campaign, Sanju Samson and Jasprit Bumrah, both pulled phenomenal 9 out of 10s. Let's dig into exactly what they did. Sanju Samson was honestly an absolute revelation. After sitting out most of the group stage, he was promoted to open and just completely took over the tournament. He finished as player of the series, racking up 321 runs and smashing a tournament-leading 24 massive sixes. He scored an unbeaten 97 in what was basically a virtual quarterfinal against the West Indies, and then hit consecutive 89s in the semifinal and the final. Just an explosive, game-changing performance. And hey, while Samson was doing all that damage with the bat, Jasprit Bumrah was doing the exact same thing with the ball. Bumrah was head and shoulders above the rest, claiming 14 tournament wickets with this ridiculously stingy economy rate of 6.21. And when the lights were at their absolute brightest in the final against New Zealand, he delivered a stunning spell of 4 for 15. That is the best figures by a pacer in a T20 World Cup final ever. He completely dismantled the opposition. But listen, 2026 wasn't just about the men defending their title. As we look at these historic achievements, we absolutely have to bridge over to a monumental, simultaneous victory happening in women's cricket. The Women's T20 World Cup was running concurrently, right? And India had a rising star of their own who was just tearing through the competition. 10. That is the number of wickets taken in just her first 3 appearances at the Women's T20 World Cup by a young Indian left-arm spinner. Talk about hitting the ground running. It was a blistering start to the tournament that just forced the entire cricketing world to stop and pay attention. The player behind those 10 wickets is 21-year-old Sri Chirani. Get this, just a little over 12 months after making her international debut, her World Cup run, which included a superb spell of 4 for 19 against the Netherlands, skyrocketed her straight to the top. She officially overtook England's Lindsay Smith to become the #1 ranked T20I bowler in the world. Between Boma and Chirani, India's bowling dominance across both the men's and women's game in 2026 is truly something to marvel at. Section 4. A new era of coverage. Off-the-pitch transformation. Now let's step off the grass for a second, because while the players were out there setting records, massive corporate shifts were transforming how we, the fans, consume the sport. This year saw the monumental JioStar merger between Reliance Industries and the Walt Disney Company in India. As part of that massive transition, the world's leading cricket website actually dropped ESPN from their name to revert back to simply Cricinfo. And this brilliantly illustrates an incredible 30-year evolution. I mean, think about it. It launched way back in 1993 as a basic bot and scorecard, got acquired by Disney in 2007 to become ESPN Cricinfo, and now in 2026 reverts to Cricinfo under JioStar. But here's the thing. While the name looks to the past, the technology running your favorite cricket app is looking squarely at the future. Just look at what Cricinfo's editor-in-chief Sambit Bal had to say. He stated that while they will stay true to their founding principles, the next phase of evolution will include AI-powered innovations to enhance our storytelling. Artificial intelligence is literally being positioned right now to completely revolutionize cricket journalism, data analysis, and how fans engage with the definitive record of the sport. So we really have to ask ourselves, with India asserting total dominance on the pitch across both the men's and women's games, and corporate giants like JioStar reshaping global media coverage using AI, what exactly does the next decade hold for the gentleman's game? The rules of how cricket is played, how it's broadcast, and how we analyze it have been fundamentally rewritten in 2026. What new records are going to be broken next, and how is AI going to change the way we witness them? Definitely keep that in mind the next time you check a scorecard on your phone. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.